All right, we are going to go ahead and create a box plot, which is on page 10. So go ahead and get there and we will start. All right, free response question. You might not be working with a box plot. It might just say make a display, but you do need to be comfortable with making a box plot. So let's give it a go. Right now they've given us our data set. In order to make a box plot, it is helpful to have the 5-number summary, right? We want to know what the minimum is. We want to know what Q1 is, the median, Q3, and the maximum. If we kind of have those, we're in a good spot. So if we kind of skim our data right now, we can go ahead and find the minimum and know that that's 6. We can look at the maximum and know that that's 60. We will have to find the middle number, so we can kind of run through and do that really quick if we want to. Or remember, you do have the option of typing all these in your calculator really fast and getting it that way. I'm just going to go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3. Okay, and then now I'm just going to go back and forth. Again, I challenge you to pause yourself, the videos, and see if you guys can try to figure out these things for yourself. All right, so I know that that is my median. Number is 41. Oh, no. 41. And now I'm going to go back and find the middle of these. It loves us. It's easy this time. Okay, so that is Q1. And now this is where I kind of cheat code and I'm like, okay, it appears, how many numbers is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I would kind of fact check in here to make sure I'm good, I didn't mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, I mean, I can cross back and forth, but I know I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is where that's going to be. And so that leaves me with 46 is Q3. And then we would have, you know, that last set of 9 just to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cool. So we've split our data into nice fourths. So we have Q1 as 31. And then we had Q3 as 46. And we have all of our key numbers. Now, another thing that we have to double check for, because I like to make modified box plots, are outliers. So in order to check to see if we have outliers, we're going to have to find the upper and lower bound. So you have to have this memorized, but I know that the lower bound is you take your Q1 and we just want to go a little bit further to the left down the number line, something that's a little bit further away. So there's my formula. And then I also know I'm going to want to figure out my upper bound, and that is Q3 plus a little bit further to the right on like the number line to find those extremes. Now, in order to do that, unfortunately, I do have to kind of find my IQR. So we have lots of space. I know I'm going a little bit sloppy. You can organize this probably a little bit better. You do always have to show your formula, your numbers, and your answer. The reason I say that is because what if you on accident found the wrong Q1 and Q3? Like you did this work, but somehow you got one of these wrong. Well, if you don't show your work for how you got this, everything else is just going to be wrong the whole way. Versus if you show your work for this, we can give you partial credit, and we can give you partial credit all the way through. So please make sure you get points for showing your formula, your numbers, your formula, your numbers, and your answer. Even if you can easily subtract in your head what 46 minus 31 is, You still got to write it down. So now that I have that, notice I also up here for my lower bound, I'm going to have my formula. I'm going to plug in the numbers to what we got going on here. And I'm going to come up with an answer. Same thing for here. I'm going to have my formula, plugging in my numbers, and then I'm going to have my answer. So just making sure we're kind of okay with those. My lower bound ends up coming out to be 8.5, and my upper bound ends up coming out to be 68.5. Okay, so now we have everything needed in order to actually make our box plot. Now notice they were so gracious to actually give us our number line. We're going to start by going and putting those major values on. So the first thing is, another thing we should note right now is, do we actually have any outliers? Outliers based on these bounds. So do we have any numbers that are less, and I've gone over these so many times, that are less than 8.5? So if we put lower bound right here as 8.5, there are two values that we would be considering outliers. We would have that 6 and we would have that 8. My upper bound is 68.5. That would be here, right? Oh wait, no, that's a 60. I thought that was a 90. Just kidding. That's a 60, right? So my upper bound is 68.5. There is nothing above that, so we don't have any outliers over there. So now what we can do is take a moment and actually go ahead and put the major things that we have going on. So we know that our outliers are going to be represented as dots on our thing. So we have an outlier at 6. So this is counting by like 2. 6 would be right here. And then we have an outlier also at 8. My whisker is going, okay, let's put the other stuff on here. We have Q1. Q1 is 31, so I'm going to go find where 31 is. 31 is probably going to be right here. That's Q1. And then you don't have to put on Q1. Everyone should know what that is. We have our median number is at 41. So 41 appears to be like in here. 41 is your median. We have Q3 is 46. 46 is Q3. And then now we kind of have the outline for the box. So now we just have to put the whiskers on. The whiskers go to your maximum and your minimum typically. So my maximum's at 60. So 60 is your maximum. So you would just stop at that point. But because we have the outliers, the thing about modified box plots is it stops at the data value that is right before, like right at your lower bound. So if I look at here, this value right here is going to be the one that I get to put on. So what even is that? That's a 16. So then I'm going to come over here and be like, that is my last little data value. Again, and maybe just leave a little note for yourself. Not lower bound. It is the next data value that is not an outlier. And so right there we have made our gorgeous modified box plot. And again, just like a little reminder that each of these sections is 25% of the data. So this 25% of the data is the least spread out to me, looking at this. And over here, this section of the data is kind of the most spread out. And when I kind of look at the middle, here's the upper half and the lower half. The lower half's a little bit more spread out. All right, and that is how you make a modified box plot.